Hey everyone, this is Matt, as always helping to answer all of your real estate questions. Today we're going to be tackling the topic, should a seller get a pre-home inspection before listing? The pros, the cons, can they, should they, do they have to, all those things. So as always, real estate's so unique, right? There's really not a one size fits all. So I'm going to talk about my experience, things I've seen. As always, it runs the gamut. What works for you, not for me, works for him, not for her, the whole 9 yards. I know you guys understand that. So first and foremost, does a seller have to do that? Is it required? Absolutely not. So by no means, to list your house, do you have to have a pre-inspection. But there are some pros, there could be some cons. We can talk about those. So let's first tackle a little bit about the pros. So for some sellers out there, they might want to get just a third opinion, right? I've been living here, third party opinion, unbiased opinion. They've been living here in the house for a while. Maybe have the nose blind, kind of like maybe a stager or someone coming in, hey, you should paint this color, change this blind. It's someone else in the transaction that can maybe help be a different voice, maybe be heard a different way. So the intent's only to be helpful, but so having that third party come in and yeah, just do that, do an overview of the house. Hey, here's all the things I see. Maybe this window's cracked, maybe this outlet's ungrounded, things you might not have known at all, even living there. And then having that report, what you can do, get ahead of some of those things, right? So fix that ungrounded outlet, replace that window sash, do little things that could help feel confident that, hey, I had an inspection, this is what came up, and then I fixed those things, addressed those things. To the buyer, that might look like, hey, pretty transparent. They already got this looked over, and then they can maybe even see the report, or hey, we fixed XYZ from that. Excuse me. Again, absolutely not required, but some folks, I'm just gonna cough all this video. All right, I think we're good. Some folks like to have it. So some of the cons to the pros, the cons, right? There is an upfront cost. Obviously, you have an inspector out, you're not doing that for free. And then there's also the potential for, hey, maybe a big crack was found in your basement, or maybe some black growth was found in the attic that again, you had no idea about, you're not trying to hide, but now you know of said issues. So now you have the duty to disclose those to the buyers. So in the world of real estate, when a house is listed, goes under contract, between that buyer and seller, that negotiation, what the buyer's offer is, and all those different terms, some buyers might waive a home inspection. Some buyers might have a traditional home inspection. Some buyers might just, hey, I want a plumber to come look at this. This is all, I can do the rest, or I'm comfortable with the rest. I just want this one thing, specifically looked at. Or a whole host of things, right? I'm gonna have an inspection just for my own knowledge, but I'm not gonna ask you for repair or credit. And on the seller side, if you accepted one of those offers, or hey, the offer had a waived home inspection, which again, it's the buyer's right. We can get into that a little more in a different video with stuff that might be coming down the road. But the seller, then they're like, hey, we're out of pocket, or we did these repairs and we didn't need to. So the benefits, the cons, it's really ultimately your personal decision, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Chat with your professional realtor, sit down what's best for you, and come up with a game plan, right? It might make sense, it might not make sense, depending on what market you're in, depending on your condition in your house. There can be some good things about them, and as we mentioned, there can be some negative things about them. So trust those in your circle. There's always that positive, that trusting relationship builds that teamwork, those positive vibes, put together the right team to have the results that you want, ultimately selling the house, getting to the closing table. And to me, a successful closing, having happy buyer, happy seller, right? Getting to that final point, everyone wins, right? It's not this battle, right? We're fighting against each other. Really like to look at it as teamwork, ultimately achieving that same goal together, getting new buyer in the home and seller onto the next chapter in life. So that's a little bit on the pre-inspection. Should I, shouldn't I? Not required, has some benefits, has some potential negatives. Appreciate you watching, and as always, smile, right? Be the positive outlook out there in the world. You never know what little impact or how positive an impact you could have with just showing someone your teeth, some smiling, right? Just it's contagious. So until next time, be well, and we'll see you around.